Namaskar, Devion or Sajano. Welcome to a story that impacts every Indian household, business, and dream. Today, we explore India's urgent quest for energy independence, a journey shaped by ambition, necessity, and global events beyond our control. As our economy grows at a rapid pace, so does our hunger for energy, fueling homes, industries, and the aspirations of over 1 billion people. Every light that turns on, every machine that runs, and every vehicle on the road depends on a steady flow of energy. Historically, India sourced most of its oil from the Middle East, relying on long-standing trade relationships and established supply routes to keep our nation moving. But in recent years, global shifts and geopolitical tensions made Russia our top supplier, at times providing nearly 40% of our total oil imports, a dramatic change that reshaped our energy landscape. Russian oil, especially the Urals grade, fit perfectly with our refineries. The discounted rates offered by Russia helped us control inflation, stabilize our economy, and keep fuel prices in check for millions of Indians. But this growing reliance came with significant risks. Overdependence on a single source left us exposed to global politics, sudden price shocks, and supply disruptions that could threaten our progress. By mid-2025, a dramatic turn of events forced India to urgently rethink its energy strategy, highlighting the critical need for Urja Atmanirbharata, true energy self-reliance and security for our future. The stage was set for a new chapter in India's energy journey, one that would demand innovation, resilience, and bold decisions. Let's see how a single global event changed everything, and how India responded to secure its energy future. In August 2025, the United States stunned global markets by imposing steep tariffs on countries purchasing Russian oil. This move was designed to choke off a major source of revenue for Russia, but its ripple effects were felt far beyond Moscow. India, a key player in the global energy market and one of Russia's largest oil customers, suddenly found itself at the epicenter of a geopolitical and economic storm. For India, the world's largest buyer of Russian seaborne oil, this was more than just a policy change. It was a diplomatic and economic earthquake that threatened to upend years of careful energy strategy. The new tariffs, reaching as high as 50%, threatened to erase the price advantage that had made Russian crude so attractive. Indian refiners now faced a stark choice: absorb higher costs, pass them on to consumers, or scramble to secure alternative supplies in a volatile market. Continuing to import Russian oil meant higher prices at the pump and for industries, risking a surge in inflation and a slowdown in economic growth. The impact was felt by ordinary citizens and businesses alike, as energy costs rippled through the economy. The alternative, finding millions of barrels of oil from new sources, was daunting, logistically complex, and threatened to disrupt established trade relationships. This shock exposed the dangers of heavy import dependency and forced India to confront the urgent need for energy diversification and self-reliance, sparking new debates on national energy policy. India now faced a defining moment: adapt quickly to a new energy reality, or pay the price for inaction in a rapidly changing world. India responded swiftly. State oil companies halted new spot purchases of Russian crude, signaling a serious reassessment. Long-term contracts remained, but this pause let India avoid immediate tariff costs and buy time to seek alternatives. The move also warned Russia that the economics of our partnership were changing. Simultaneously, India ramped up talks with Middle Eastern, African, and American suppliers to secure stable oil flows. This was more than a reaction. It was a calculated step toward a diversified, resilient energy policy. The crisis became a catalyst, pushing India to accelerate plans for both import diversification and domestic energy development. The transformation had begun. Reducing Russian oil imports came at a price. India's annual import bill could rise by $9 to $12 billion as alternatives were costlier. Higher crude prices squeezed refinery margins and could lower yields of key fuels like diesel and jet fuel. For citizens, this meant pricier petrol and diesel, raising transportation costs and fueling inflation. Everyday essentials became more expensive, directly impacting household budgets. The government faced a wider current account deficit, potentially diverting funds from vital sectors like health and education. Policymakers now had to balance strategic security with economic stability. The stakes were high. Every decision rippled through the economy. The lesson was clear. Energy choices affect every Indian. The search for solutions intensified. India launched a bold mission to diversify its oil imports, guided by the age-old wisdom of not putting all eggs in one basket. With global energy markets growing more unpredictable, the need to secure reliable and varied sources of oil became more urgent than ever before. Middle Eastern partners like Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE regained prominence in India's energy landscape, while the US and Latin American nations, such as Brazil and Guyana, emerged as key new suppliers. This shift was not just about buying oil, but about building long-term relationships and ensuring a steady flow of energy, even in turbulent times. India also turned its gaze to Africa's vast, largely untapped reserves, forging new partnerships and investing in exploration and infrastructure. These efforts opened doors to new opportunities and helped India reduce its dependence on any single region. The ambitious goal was clear: expand our supplier base from 27 to 40 countries. This would not only boost flexibility and bargaining power, but also shield India from sudden supply shocks and price spikes. Multilateral forums like BRICS offered alternative trade routes and innovative payment systems, reducing India's vulnerability to Western sanctions and giving the country more options in a rapidly changing world. This multi-pronged approach, combining old friends, new allies, and global platforms, became the backbone of India's energy security, ensuring the nation could adapt to any challenge. The strategy was simple yet powerful. Never let the lights go out, no matter how fierce the global storm or how uncertain the future. Diversification was no longer just a policy. It had become a national imperative, shaping the future of India's energy landscape for generations to come. True energy independence starts at home. India launched a drive to boost domestic oil and gas production. New exploration in untapped basins, from the Andaman Sea to Rajasthan, is underway, with incentives for public and private investment. Advanced technologies like enhanced oil recovery are squeezing more from aging fields. Every extra barrel produced at home means less reliance on imports and greater economic resilience. The vision raised domestic output's share in our energy mix over the next decade. It's a marathon, not a sprint, but today's investments lay the foundation for tomorrow's security. Domestic production and import diversification form a powerful two-pronged strategy. India is determined to control its energy destiny. The most transformative step is India's green revolution, shifting from fossil fuels to renewables like solar and wind. By mid-2025, nearly half our power capacity came from non-fossil sources, with a target of 500 GW by 2030. The National Green Hydrogen Mission aims to make India a global hub for clean hydrogen, powering industries and transport. Every megawatt of renewables cuts our import bill, cleans our air, and creates green jobs. This is not just environmental policy, it's economic and strategic. The sun and wind are India's greatest indigenous resources. Harnessing them is key to true self-reliance. The future is clean, green, and Indian. The energy shakeup triggered a broader shift in India's trade and industry. MSMEs, the backbone of our economy, began exploring new export markets, mirroring our energy diversification. ASEAN, UAE, Australia, and the UK emerged as promising destinations, supported by new trade agreements. Geopolitical tensions also opened doors. US tariffs on China let Indian manufacturers fill supply chain gaps. Government initiatives like Make in India are boosting domestic manufacturing and resilience. Producing more at home means jobs, growth, and less reliance on imports. The challenges sparked innovation and agility across Indian industry. India's business community is now more outward-looking and ready for global opportunities. The journey to Urja Atmanirbhar Bharat is a marathon, complex, challenging, but full of promise. The 2025 tariff shock accelerated our shift to a multi-pronged strategy: import diversification, domestic production, and a renewable revolution. The rewards are immense: a resilient economy, cleaner air, and global leadership in sustainable growth. But this mission needs everyone: government, industry, and citizens. Every choice matters. Conserve energy, support green products, and embrace innovation. Together, we can build a strong, confident, and self-reliant India. The dream of Urja Atmanirbhar Bharat is within reach. Let's unite to make it real. Jai Hind. The future is ours to shape.